Happy Wednesday. How are you? Happy hump day. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will stay up. This is the time of day when we usually get storms here lately, so I'm hoping that it will all be a-okay. I posted a type of graphic, a picture of some women in an office, and put some bubble things over their heads they were having a chat. And this has to do with the topic today. The main person, the main paralegal in this picture is asking the other one a question, so be sure you go look at that. Now, the question is, I understand that you did send, this paralegal is saying this, that you did send a new case to the remote paralegal, a person who's working off-site for the law firm. But do you know that they received it? Okay. And the other woman in the picture is a new paralegal, never worked as a paralegal before, but says, I assume she received it. It's one of the words that, one of the words we never use in the legal field is I assume so, or I guess so, or I don't know. We just don't do that. We can't say those things. That's not an appropriate answer, because we are the manager. We are the managers of all detail. Okay? We are the engine driving that law firm as far as detail is concerned and pulling all the puzzle pieces together. So, my mind is boggled when I hear of paralegals who work like this, or legal secretaries who work like this, legal assistants, whatever you want to call the staffer, and they don't know what the deadlines are for a case. You know, they don't have all of this pulled together. And what I teach my students is that's part of it. That's exactly what I go into very heavily, is because you've got to explain how you're going to work in that law firm as a new paralegal, and how you are not going to let certain things drop through the cracks. And that's very, very important. It's so much of what we do. We've got so many irons in the fire every single day. You can't remember all this. You know, so we have systems we use to keep us on track. And it's not just having a calendar. So the answer that this new paralegal is providing is unacceptable. That just in this case, this particular instance, the easy thing to do is to follow up. That when this case was forwarded, the paralegal who sent it, whoever sent it, needs to follow up. And because everybody is pretty much working remotely right now and working from the house, it's created some, it's not that we haven't been detail oriented before. It's created some different scenarios of this person's at the house, I have to call them now. I can't just pop in to their space, to their office space or their cubicle or wherever they're working and go, did you get that? Yeah, bye. I have to call them. That takes a little bit more time, but doesn't have to be long. And I have to make sure that they did get it. And I have to keep track of all that. That's what we do as paralegals. And there are so many other facets of the job that we have to track like this. And when a job ad says, we want somebody dependable, that's easy to figure out. They want you to show up on time and not take like sick days every week. They want you to be dependable, but also dependable in how you do your job. And they want you to be detail oriented. That's where all this comes in. That you are managing all of that detail in the proper way. So I go over this with my class all the time. Like, don't forget to do XYZ. and have all these ducks in a row. And that's really what we do. We're getting all the ducks in a row and looking at your cases. You have to look at them as if they're your cases, and you're taking care of those clients in the best way you can, and that your customer service is 100%, is top notch. And I've heard other paralegals say to me, well, this is all on the attorney. I don't have to worry about that. That's his or her job. That's not so. You won't be in that job long if that's the mindset. That's a terrible mindset, but I've heard it. I've had colleagues that I've worked with spew that stuff, and it isn't, they ended up not working for that attorney and had to go scramble to get another job. So there are people waiting in the wings to take your job if you can't perform it well. And this is how you perform it well, by being aware of every single part of that case and the detail, and not wait to the last minute to do things. And yes, sometimes attorneys do that. They wait. I've worked for several, but I'm a good, I'll say nudge. I'm good at just, I'm going to nag you to death till you get that done, because I'm going to serve that client well. And that's my MO, and that has to be your MO as well. We do that. Not everybody toes the line. Not everybody, including attorneys, works in a great way, and some will tend to want to let things slide. That's not how I work. That's not how I can exist. I'm going to try to give 100% top-notch client relation, or I'll call it customer service. And that's how you have to go into this. So when you see that graphic below that I posted, I believe at about an hour ago, understand that answer will not fly. And that you already, before you start, begin your first job, you have to know how to manage everything. You have to know it. They're not putting you through school. I don't care if they say in the ad, we're going to give you all the training in the world. That is bogus. We have extensive training. Let me tell you, the person placing that ad is the attorney. And the behind the scenes stuff that's happening is we're going to use, okay, I'll put this in the ad, and then I'm going to put that new person on a veteran paralegal who has a ton of work to do. I say this a lot, but I want you to be aware that you may get excited. Oh, goody, goody. There's training. That is far from the truth. Okay, so know the truth going in. You have to know how to do all this before you step foot in there. They don't have time. The other staffers do not have all the time in the world to teach you. They may answer 5 questions in a day if they have time. So don't think that every little move you make, they're overseeing and they're your great professor. They don't have time for that. They don't. So and we'll just put that person on, that secretary or paralegal, and they can't say no. And that's a hardship on the experienced person, because we sincerely don't have the time. And it's happened to me with attorneys coming out of law school. They had 3 attorneys and they wanted me to train them. Let me tell you, those 3 attorneys didn't want me to train them. They didn't want that to happen. They weren't going to come to me to be trained. 2 of them didn't really need that. One was hopelessly inadequate coming out of law school. Yes, very inadequate. But hopefully she made it. But she definitely needed a mentor, and the attorneys didn't want to train these attorneys. Why? Because every minute they spend during the day, they want to spend earning money. And that's by working on client cases, not by training attorneys. Because they have mouths to feed at home, and they have bills to pay, They have utility bills and our salaries to pay. And so every moment that they don't spend working, they're losing money. That's how it is in the law field. So take all that into consideration as you're applying for jobs, that you are able to answer the question about how you're going to help the attorney. What are you bringing to the table to help them? How are you going to manage the work efficiently, effectively, and consistently? You have to answer those questions, because when they say in the ad, you have to be detail oriented. It's not that you're this fabulous proofreader. That's great. Undoubtedly, that's great. But that's only this much of it. Okay? So that is it for today. Don't forget to go to the website, paralegalcoffeetalk.com. One of my students was asking me last night, where else can I go to find you, me? And it's at paralegalcoffeetalk.com, of course here on Facebook, but also on my people on YouTube will be watching this video as well, and that's called Paralegal Career Mastermind on the YouTube channel, and there are close to 400 videos there. And some of it is repeat of what's on Facebook, but much of it isn't. So go over there and look around. Do searches in the search area on my channel, Paralegal Career Mastermind. But go to the paralegalcoffeetalk.com site and look at the top and get the 19 alternative paralegal careers list. Just remember 19, and you'll see that up at the top. Get the free chapter of my book, Legal Break-In, or you can get the whole book. You'll see 2 tabs, one for free chapter, one for Legal Break-In, okay? What else can I tell you? I think that's about it. The wait list for the Paralegal Inner Circle class is open, and you can sign up on the wait list under Paralegal Inner Circle class info, and just hold your cursor over that and you'll see waitlist, and you can just click on there. You can read about the class on the main tab there. So that is it for today. Any questions, comments while I'm on here, feel free to ask. Hey Sophia, good to see you. Or ask later. You can go, if you're not part of my class, the classes that are going on right now, or if you're part of that class, you don't need to be in the Paralegal Break-In group. The Paralegal Break-In group is for people who are totally new to the field and want to find out more about it, need to ask questions privately. So if you want to be part of that and you're not in the legal field in any capacity, go in and ask to join. But answer the questions, please, because otherwise I just decline you coming in. So please answer questions before, in order to get in that class, Paralegal Break-In. I guess that's it. So have a great Wednesday night. Happy hump day. Yep, we're halfway through another week. Let's just keep praying that a solution is found to this craziness in our world, the pandemic, and other things as well. Just keep those prayers going up, and I will talk to you in the next live tomorrow. Bye.